One night, you wake up to find yourself unable to control your actions. You see yourself floating in an endless sea of dark galaxies in the universe. You realize you've arrived at a convex place where no one can hear or help you. Suddenly, an enormous roar echoes through the cosmos, making you turn. You find yourself surrounded by immense, amorphous creatures with planet-sized tentacles, wandering the cold, dark universe, consuming everything in their path. You've reached an inhospitable place that makes you question everything you know. You discover that your existence is insignificant and absurd, and there's nothing you can do to save yourself from the fear you feel at that moment. Unable to control it, you start laughing hysterically and crying at the same time. Madness has overtaken you, and you begin to speak in strange tongues. Your body quickly transforms into slimy scales, and liquids pour from your eyes until you become something as horrifying as it is inexplicable. You are insignificant. You are dust. H.P. Lovecraft knew perfectly well that most of his stories were based on the fundamental premise that human laws, interests, and emotions have no validity or meaning in the face of the vast totality of the cosmos. The universe is immense, and there are things out there that neither our technology nor our human understanding can decipher. We are insignificant dust, and there are creatures out there that can drive any person mad. Physical and moral rules, even our technology, are crushed by this cosmic reality that our limited capacity cannot understand. It's a matter of gods, of beings that, compared to human existence, reduce us to nothing. If you're familiar with H.P. Lovecraft's concept and apocalyptic mythology, these ideas are probably normal for you. But if not, phrases like, "we are irrelevant in the universe," or "humanity is worth less than dust" might be jarring. I only ask that you keep an open mind. Imagine we're talking about pure science fiction, or at least I hope we are. The average person tends to be offended by such terms. Humanity in general doesn't want to hear stories where our mere existence is implausible. But this concept has always terrified humans since the beginning of time. Cosmic horror is vast, and when humans first set foot on Earth, they encountered an immense planet full of inexplicable phenomena and creatures we didn't know at the time. Since then, our humanity has tried to give logical or even illogical meaning or explanation to every phenomenon, every living creature, and the philosophy of life. We created science for everything we can explain, and religion for everything that's still inexplicable. But even the earliest civilizations were already pondering existential philosophical questions. Where do we come from? Who are we? Why were we created? But deep down, a terror has threatened our minds from the beginning. What if we have no purpose? What if we just exist for the sake of existing? What if we're not the protagonists of this movie, but merely decorations on the set? These questions began to reveal the first principles of cosmic horror from the beginning of our time. And almost like a parody, as in the movie Prometheus.
Why do you think your people made me?
We made you because we could.
Can you imagine how disappointing it would be for you to hear the same thing from your creator?
It makes you wonder, what if we have no purpose? The fear of irrelevance in our existence has always been latent. But even science has flirted with this concept. Unable to explain many things, humans decided to give them a divine, magical approach. Surely God, this all-powerful and good creator, made us in his image. But if you stop to think about it, it's a very egocentric ideology with no basis in fact or evidence. What if we actually invented the gods in our own image? Take a look at any relevant astrophysicist in this field of science, and they could confirm this. Humans are insignificant, and their existence is just a breath in all the known phenomena that revolve around us, and we're talking about being a tiny microbe in what we already know. Now imagine all that we don't know. The question shouldn't be whether we're irrelevant in the universe. Rather, we should ask, do we have any relevance even in our own galaxy? This is where Howard Phillips Lovecraft appears, and through his series of traumas and his great imagination for creating stories, would put the last piece of the puzzle, called cosmic horror. Lovecraft was fascinated by this ideology, perhaps cruel but very interesting. He maintained that true terror was found in the trivial human existence, in which men wander blindly through the cold, stellar void aboard this small, insignificant rock called planet Earth, and that we are prisoners of our own ignorance, which, in addition to keeping us in the dark, somehow also allows us to live our disgusting lives while the true extraterrestrial horrors lurk beyond, in the confines of time and space. monstrous dark deities personified nightmares that our minds were not fit to process. And if we were to face them, we would go mad instantly, long before we could understand what we were really facing, making clear the unimportance of our existence in the face of these abominations, being mere spectators of a macabre dance that devours the cosmos and everything in its path. I'd also like to clarify that these beings are much more elaborate than simple giant monsters, much more than simple skynets, demons, or sea beasts. We're talking about beings with divine capabilities, with intelligence so superior to ours that humanity would seem like stupid insects in comparison. That's where our irrelevance lies. It's not the typical story of good humans against monsters. This time, the infinite abominations themselves have their own factions, and we are less than spectators. Just as you crush ants while going to work, these beings destroy galaxies while doing whatever it is that cosmic beings do. If you're new to this concept, you're probably thinking, "Oh, I'm special." Of course I am. And surely you are special. Not only did Lovecraft try to navigate between these imaginary worlds of endless, abominable stories, but the film industry has as well. For many directors and screenwriters, this cosmic horror has been a fascinating and fun theme to explore. From movies like Alien, which already denoted humanity's role as inferior to other space threats, to films like Event Horizon that showed us that humans didn't have the capacity to play with technologies they didn't understand, which would end up sinking us into the perdition of a cruel and unspeakable fate. But it wouldn't be until Carpenter's arrival with his Apocalypse trilogy that we would be presented with the most Lovecraftian vision possible of cosmic horror, where beings and events superior to us play with our existence and treat us as inconsequential beings in the vast universe, full of phenomena and events that go beyond our existence and without haste or plans. In the Mouth of Madness, Prince of Darkness, and The Thing are the three films that form John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy. One of the most common criticisms about the Lovecraftian universe and movies that want to present cosmic horror is, why is it so difficult to have a movie that presents these kinds of themes? In short, it's difficult to visually present a horror of something we don't know and whose nature is so brutal and indescribable that we can't show it on screen. Villains like Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, or Pinhead are strong, paranormal, and even magical beings, but they fit into a simple format that the mind can digest. They are the bad guys. We are the good guys. We have a struggle, and in the end, with the perfect weapon, the right trap, or with some luck, our protagonist can face them. And in the end, in a metaphor that will invert in a moment, we can say that we found the key to that door. On the other hand, cosmic horror is very different. We can't even understand what we're facing. We don't know their motivations, we don't know their weaknesses, we don't even know if they have any. There is no weapon that can face them. And using Lovecraft's own analogy with one of the many Lovecraftian beings of cosmic horror, I quote, "Yog-Sothoth is the all-in-one, the key and the gate." Cosmic horror has always been a great source of inspiration for many content creators, from people like John Carpenter, Stephen King, and even Junji Ito. In conclusion, and almost to finish, cosmic horror is as old as humanity on this planet. Since the first thinking mind became lucid, it asked itself many questions, and fearing not being able to have all these answers, it felt the first signs of horror of the unknown and inexplicable. That's why I say that cosmic horror goes far beyond monsters with tentacles and giant creatures. Cosmic horror is an existential doubt that has no explanation. Humans fear what they don't understand, and often what they don't understand is what they can't see. Cosmic horror has no form, and what has no form is indescribable. That's all for today, knowledge seekers. I hope you enjoyed this new segment. If so, let me know with a like, and I could make this topic a recurring theme every Friday. See you in the next video.